So Marvel might have just revealed the new actor that's going to play Black Panther in the future of the MCU. Plus, we got some concerning new updates about the future of the DCU and Warner Brothers being bought by a different company, new trailers for Scream 7 and Stranger Things 5, and a whole lot more movie news. Let's get into all of it. And of course, we're going to start off with the new Black Panther news. And for this, we actually have to talk about a Vogue fashion show that was held a few days ago. Now, stay with me now. I promise this makes sense and links back to a new Black Panther actor. That's because at this Vogue fashion show, an entire portion of it was dedicated to Wakanda and people dressing up like characters from the first Black Panther film. And in fact, Angela Bassett, who plays Ramonda obviously in the Black Panther films, was actually at this fashion show dressing up as her character returning. Obviously, she died in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but this is not the headline of this event. The real thing that has everybody talking is that at the end of this entire Wakanda and Black Panther dedicated portion of the fashion show, Angela Bassett walks out with none other than the actor Damson Idris, who you probably recognize from the F1 movie or the Snowfall TV show. But more importantly, this has been one of the most popular and famous fan casts for the recasting of Black Panther for the last couple of years. And just recently, we had that huge leak from Avengers Doomsday showing a bunch of concept art earlier this year. And I know people from the film did come out and debunk this stuff, but hear me out. They're not going to come out and say like, oh yeah, this is real plans we had for the future of the MCU. And even if this isn't stuff that's going to happen in Avengers Doomsday, it does show they are planning on recasting Black Panther in the future if this is real. Now, a lot of people were saying that this concept art looks like Damson Idris, which I'm not going to lie, I don't really see the resemblance that much, but like I said, it does show that they were thinking about it. And with the information we got from Kevin Feige a few months ago talking about the fact that, yeah, we are going to reset down to singular timelines in the MCU after Avengers Secret Wars, and it's going to serve as kind of a soft reboot, this definitely opens up the door for a new Black Panther to enter the main MCU timeline. Obviously, there are a few problems with this. First of all, the MCU has already hard committed to Shuri taking on the Black Panther mantle, so I don't know if they would just like completely replace her. We already know she's going to be in Avengers Doomsday as Black Panther, so who knows, maybe they could do something where she runs into a multiversal version of Black Panther, and then we do a whole storyline with them kind of maybe becoming friends or fighting against each other in the next Black Panther movie. I don't know, it sounds far-fetched, but it could happen. And of course, you have the problem of in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, they reveal that, hey, T'Challa had a son actually, and this kid only looks like 10 to 12 years old, so even by the time Avengers Secret Wars takes place, he probably would not be like in his 20s, like Damson Idris is probably going to be playing like a 20s or 30s version of the Black Panther. So I kind of feel like this was the MCU's way of soft launching Damson Idris as the next Black Panther, kind of just seeing what people think about, like me talking about this idea, seeing what fans say about him potentially taking on the mantle. And if the multiversal saga has shown us one thing, is that the MCU is not opposed to just abandoning ideas they've been setting up. Like we literally had Kang in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, Loki, and an Avengers movie named after him that we just completely abandoned now. And I know the circumstances were different, but like I was saying earlier, if you're going to replace Shuri and have a new version of T'Challa in the MCU, Secret Wars is pretty much your only opportunity to do it. With getting rid of a bunch of different timelines, you have Shuri in the next two Avengers movies. She could honestly just be killed off if they want to do this, and then you just have the Black Panther from a different universe stay in our timeline. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Do you think Damson Idris should be the new Black Panther or just keep Shuri moving forward? But we got to move on to some DC, Scream, and Stranger Things news. Starting off with DC, there's been lots of rumors lately, and now Warner Brothers has officially announced that they are going to be selling their company. And obviously Warner Brothers owns a ton of properties, including DC Studios. They own the rights to the Harry Potter franchise and that upcoming TV show, tons of other franchises. They are a massive company, but it looks like Paramount is really trying to buy them. Now, as of right this second, Paramount is saying that they plan to keep James Gunn in charge of DC Studios if the Warner Brothers merger happens with these two companies. And they said this is true across all the studios owned by Warner Brothers. They're going to keep the creative teams in place, which is great because we had reports a few weeks ago that were saying like, oh, hey, maybe Paramount's going to start all over with another new DC universe, get rid of James Gunn. But I'm glad if they do buy this company, they're going to let him cook and let his full DCU vision come to light. But this still would not be the best thing. I think Warner Brothers would be best if it's not bought by anyone, and especially Paramount. They are really just not a company you want to be involved with lately. They are owned by David Ellison, who obviously has a lot of ties to the current administration, and he wants to end HBO Max if they end up buying Warner Brothers and merge it into Paramount Plus. Which for us wouldn't change a lot, obviously, as just the consumers of these TV shows and movies. You just have your subscription probably moved over to Paramount Plus. You'd have to open up that app instead. And your subscription would probably be a lot more expensive since they're having an entire other company merge with them. Just in general, this is going to be bad for Hollywood because you're going to have Disney. They now fully own 100% of Hulu. They obviously own ESPN and a ton of other networks as well. Now you're going to have Paramount just trying to own a bunch of other services. Like, competition is what keeps every business thriving and is what helps us, the end consumers, get the best product products possible and great new movies because they have to compete with each other. If everything's owned by like 2 studios, we're going to be absolutely cooked in the future, and the prices are going to be crazy. Like the article points out, it kind of just doesn't make sense. Like HBO Max is a much more recognizable and prestigious brand compared to Paramount Plus. It has a bigger subscriber number across the world. I don't know why they do this. Now take one quick second and drop a like on this video. Zack Snyder is back, just straight up rage baiting the entire DC fan base, because if you missed out, a few weeks ago he joined Instagram for the very first time, and one of his first posts was this picture of Henry Cavill on the bottom here saying that Henry Cavill is Superman. 655,000 likes. It gave the Snyder Army so much ammo against James Gunn's new Superman. Now just today you've had Zack Snyder posting this picture of Ben Affleck as Batman, saying no question, this man is Batman, which again people are taking as an attack on the new Batman movie and Robert Pattinson. But I think the real answer is that Zack Snyder is actually just a normal person. He's like, oh, I worked in these projects, I like taking photos, here's some behind the scenes footage of characters and actors I worked with. Then the insane Snyder Cole online obviously uses this as ammo to be like, oh my god, bring back the Snyderverse, he's coming back, James Gunn sucks, and I just hate this entire toxic war between these two people. And I don't think Zack Snyder's doing it on purpose. Like I said, it's all on his fan base. Now before we get to the Scream and Stranger Things stuff, we're going to bounce back to Marvel for one quick quote from Elizabeth Olsen, because she says that she would love the Scarlet Witch to interact with Aubrey Plaza's death in the MCU, and obviously death was introduced in Agatha all along. And I would definitely love to see this. I just find it so funny that the MCU introduced death after they ended the Thanos storyline, when she's such a huge part of his character in the comics. Elizabeth Olsen and death would have been perfect in the project together, and now she's still currently dead in the MCU. We don't know for sure if Wanda is coming back. I just feel like there's a huge missed opportunity not having death earlier in the MCU. Moving on to Stranger Things Season 5, the first official trailer for the final season has finally released, even though we're only a month away from the season releasing. The trailer did look pretty crazy. As you can see from this image below me, Will looks absolutely cooked. But the creator of Stranger Things, the Duffer Brothers, have came out and said that 2 major questions will be answered in the final season of the show. The first being, what is the Upside Down truly? What is the real nature behind it? Why was it created? What's its connection to Hawkins and all that stuff, which is going to be really interesting. And why was Will the person that was taken in season 1 of the show? So that's going to be crazy to find out what was the true answer. All these years, have they really had it planned out, or is it just going to feel like a lazy explanation? Now, I'm really excited for this final season. I just hope that the answer of what the Upside Down truly is doesn't ruin the show, because I feel like there's lots of explanations that could be like, oh, that's just corny, that doesn't make any sense. Sometimes things are better left as just major questions, so hopefully they have a great answer figured out for this. If you have any theories, let me know in the comments below what they are. We've also had fans already do a breakdown of how long each character appears in the trailer, which obviously doesn't mean a ton, but my boy Steve Harrington only getting 6 seconds of screen time in a 3-minute long trailer is a little concerning. I think he might also be cooked in this season. Overall, I really love the first trailer. If you're unaware, the release date is going to be Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, and then New Year's Eve, and the finale is also going to release in theaters at the same time that it comes out on Netflix, which is going to be crazy. Moving on, we got a brand new trailer for the newest Scream movie, Scream 7, and it's been very controversial for a lot of reasons online. First of all, people are just complaining that the movie looks like a parody itself of the Scream franchise and what Scream has been making fun of all along, because obviously it's like a comedy satire of the slasher genre. But the real reason that this trailer has been so controversial is obviously because Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, who were the stars of Scream 5 and 6, are no longer going to be starring in Scream 7 because they were fired from the project, or at least Melissa Barrera was, because if you missed it, she spoke out against Israel pretty much, and the studio, who again owned by Paramount, was like, no, you're not going to do that, fired her wrongfully. And then Jenna Ortega was like, well, hey, if you're going to fire my friend for that reason, I'm going to walk away from this franchise. Her career is obviously going well enough. She doesn't need this. So she's like, yeah, I'm out. So it does definitely seem like this movie is going to be grasping at straws to kind of fill in the blanks from these 2 characters, probably bringing back lots of characters from the past that we thought were dead, which we know was going to be happening in this film. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. I'm not really excited for it without Melissa Barrera or Jenna Ortega. If you made it this far, drop a like on the video. If you want to hear about some crazy Young Avengers and Beyond the Spider-Verse news, click the video above my head, and thank you for watching.